Divine greetings and gratitude, everyone. If y'all are new here, my name is Nuna. I am the witch, author, and poet of the Royal House of Magic of Eden. Welcome to your newest spiritual safe haven. And if y'all are returning, hey family, welcome back to our sacred garden. I'm always honored, excited, and elated to be in your presence. Tonight, let's go ahead and talk about the download that I got earlier. And I feel like now is the perfect time for me to talk about this. I say this because I actually received the same download months ago, but now will be the time for me to tell you. And that download was the words time magic. I found this to be so interesting because I really do feel that people do not realize that we are always practicing time magic. And if you ask me, all magic is time magic. It's just done at different levels. It's just done in different ways. And for some people, they do it unintentionally. And that unintentionality is actually what's coming through right now, because there are a lot of things that people are faced with. There are a lot of things that are coming up for people right now, especially because Pluto is now retrograde, that are surfacing, and people are being given the opportunity to either deal with those things and heal from them, or to continue to steer a ship in the wrong direction that is going to lead to destruction in their lives. And I don't mean to say that to be insensitive. I'm saying that because I can feel that there are a lot of people right now who are stuck in a time loop. For some people, they're caught in between worlds. And what I mean by that is that some people are stuck in the past, and some people are too focused and headset on the future because they feel that they are lacking something right now in the present. Now, the reason why I say that people are practicing time magic, which I feel that the word practicing is not the best word to use, but for lack of better terms, people are unintentionally engaging in time magic. And I say that because some people who are having these issues with things in the past are not letting them go. Now, Pluto is a sign that rules control, power. It rules our spiritual sexual energy, and it is a very feminine sign. So it also does rule transformation, if you will. It rules death and rebirth, purging and banishing and things of that nature. I find this to be very fitting because a lot of people right now, again, are faced with things that are happening in the past, or that have happened in the past. And one thing that people don't realize is that when you are going back and you are looking and peering into these memories and you are feeling them within your body doesn't know the difference between that being a past memory and it being in the present moment. And so for some people, they may not realize this, but their behavior is the ritual. Their repetitive behavior is the ritual. And the more that they keep acting on certain things, the more that they are creating that reality for themselves. For example, let's just say, because relationships are a common theme nowadays, are very strong and potent now, let's just say someone was betrayed in the past, whether it be a friend or that betrayed them, or a daughter or sister, whoever, or a relationship with their significant other or their past significant other. They may grow to have trust issues with people because of the way that they were treated in the past, especially if someone is insensitive, if they are compassionate and they don't know how to let go because they have such a big heart to love and they always want things to be right because they love people. Some people tend to hold on to those things. And so when they take themselves back to those memories, or when they resurface, they start to feel those things and they start to align with that timeline. And what they do is if they act on it, they then start to treat other people with caution, or they start to protect themselves through pushing people away, or they may unconsciously say things to people and don't even realize what they're saying that is causing a disconnect between them and the future person, or them and another friend, or them and another family member. And what they're doing is they've practiced time magic. Why? Because they took themselves back into a certain moment in time and they lived it and they breathed it and they felt it and they started to act on it. The action was the ritual. The repetitive action was the ritual. The emotions they were feeling were the invocations. And the words that they stated to this person or to these people were the spells that created this reality. And that's really what's happening to people. Some people may be battling and dealing with self-esteem issues where in the past they felt that they were teased or bullied or picked on and things like that. And so they refuse to show up because they don't want to feel that kind of hurt or pain or embarrassment again. And so they're trying to keep themselves themselves safe because they're assuming that that's just how the world is, right? And I'm not saying that to be insensitive. I'm saying that because it's unfortunate that so many of our soul tribe, of our family, you know, we're out here really stuck in time loops. And let's just say, for example, if someone is dead set on having something from the future come to fruition now, if they are really wanting to become a doctor, or if they're really wanting this person, they start to obsess over it. They start to do everything that they possibly can in the moment to make sure that that manifestation happens. And what they're not realizing is that there is something that is making them feel insecure, and it's just longing for whatever they feel that they lack right now in the moment, which takes them out of the present. And that's the point that I'm making. Everything that we do is an act of magic, because magic is the will of anyone projected out into the universe to create change and manifest, right? And I do feel that Spirit is reminding us that we do have the power to face these things that have happened in the past. So we have the power to rewrite certain things so that we can manifest the best of our lives. But the best way that we're going to do that is by becoming more intentional with the things that we're doing. Right? We don't have to lack or want for anything, because our desires are reflections of what we are meant to experience in this universe. And I feel that the more that we align with these certain timelines intentionally, the more that we can have a better present in the moment. So if you are someone right now who is struggling, remember that you have the power and the capacity to make these things change. You can take whatever moment you are in right now, you can infuse that moment, right? You can infuse that, transmute it into healing, to infuse that energy into, let's just say, a bottle of oil. Right? Now, if you're someone like me, you like to work your magic using ritual items and essentials like oils and candles and whatever else. And the beautiful thing about that is that that in itself is time magic too, because what you're doing is you're taking a certain moment in time, the energy you felt during a waxing moon or a waning moon or a full moon in Gemini and whatnot, and you're aligning with the planets, and you are taking the energy of that planet, of those planets, or at that time, and you're infusing it into that oil. You're letting it sit for 3+ days or however long, or 6 to 8 weeks, and then that magic or that time becomes infused in that bottle, and then you carry it with you for the length of however long. Right? And so now you're carrying time with you. So truly everything is time magic. And so I feel like right now we have to remember that we have the power to change course, and we have the power to change the things that are happening to us and to change our circumstances by intentionally aligning ourselves with the timelines that we want to see in our realities right now. But we must first become conscious of it. And that means holding ourselves accountable. That means letting things fall away that are not fitting. That means if the ship is going to sink, let it sink. If the car is just, you know, being towed, or for whatever reason, I hope that's not your reality, but if you can't control it, don't. If you can't do truly anything to change that thing, because it is inevitable, allow that thing to be what it is. Allow it to leave. Allow yourself to grieve that thing. Allow yourself to deal with whatever comes with that thing having to leave your life. And I do feel that that is where we are at right now in life. We have to allow ourselves to detach enough to allow things to be what they are, to allow people to be who they are, because we can't control anyone, right? The only thing that we can control is ourselves. I mean, we can manipulate energy, and there's people out here practicing certain types of magic that are influencing people's realities and, you know, what they do and things like that. But let's just say, for example, if this person, and this is so interesting that it's coming up, because now my mind is just like going a mile a minute, and I'm on a tangent now. It's like when you are doing something because you're trying to force something into your life. Let's just say, for example, if someone is trying to force someone to be in their life, right? And what ends up happening is that person ends up manifesting. But at first, they didn't want any dealings with that person, right? The person that they were trying to attract didn't want anything to do with them, but they purposely made this person. Sorry about that, y'all. My battery died. I was getting passionate. But anyway, let's just say, for example, right, if that person is trying to attract someone that is not meant to be there, and they force them into their lives by impeding on their will or whatever, right? And shit starts happening in their life. Like, everything starts becoming destructive. The next thing you know, this person I don't know why the word is like fatal attraction. If you guys are working your magic around that you know what? I don't have to worry about that because I know that y'all are not doing that. Or maybe you know someone that is, and you see that because they forced someone into their life who didn't want to be there, now their life is in shambles. And I'm not trying to come off as insensitive, but it's one of those things where it's like, use your discernment. Because if you don't use your discernment, and or if you don't address the reason why you wanted that person to be in your life and you force it, it can cause destruction, cataclysmic destruction on yourself, and that can permeate all throughout your life and maybe even affect the people around you. So you really want to get to the root cause as to why you feel that you want these things or these people in your life, or why you keep finding yourself going back in time to a certain memory. For some people, if they're dealing with a disempowerment issue, what you can do is you can take yourself back at that time and play a reality in your mind where this did not happen, and you become empowered, and you take that energy that you were in alignment with and you go out into the world and you start to actually act on that. That in itself is a form of time magic. So that now that you have that power within you at that moment, you then create a timeline where you are all powerful. You see how that works? So I feel that Spirit is wanting us to know now is that we are always practicing time magic. I'm not going full into detail about how to practice time magic, no, because I feel that time magic is not just done intentionally to manifest a certain result. It's our need to manifest certain things because we feel that we lack something, and Spirit is saying is that you lack nothing. You have everything because you yourself are everything. And Spirit is wanting to give you this form or this love and this essence of empowerment. And the fact that Pluto is retrograde, this is not to inhibit you, and it's not to scare you. It's not to scare you off. It's not to pull you down. It's meant to show you the things that you are not dealing with. And if you are not dealing with those things, they will come back eventually. So you're either going to mourn, you're going to let this go, you're going to let it be what it is, or you're going to keep forcing and fighting against it, or fighting to have something that you're not ready for right now and cause destruction in your life. And you as a magical being don't need that. You don't need that. And the last thing that I do want to say is that if you are someone right now who is having trouble with aligning with a certain timeline because of a fear, understand that I too have been where you are right now. And the number one thing that I learned is that no matter what, the best thing that you can do for yourself is to let go. And this was something that I wish that someone told me more often, right? This was something that I feel like I wish that I had someone tell me more growing up. And as an adult, right, I'm now 31. I'm now 31, actually. I was born in 94. Anyway, and I'm learning that throughout the stages of my life, that letting go is not only for one stage in your life, it's overall. And I know that it's so interesting that I'm saying that. You probably are thinking like, well, Nuna, duh. But how often do people really think that? Like, how often do people really enact on that? Because if they did, why is there so much destruction in some people's lives? And I'm not saying that to you to be rude, right? Or to be a B word. I'm saying that because it's true. And I feel that a lot of us are, or a lot of people in our collective are going to be faced with the truth. And I don't know why I'm hearing like do or die. For some people, they may feel like it's do or die. And I don't wish that on you at all. I don't wish death upon you. What I do wish, and what I do would hope for, not wish, but what I would hope for is that whatever is happening in your life, that it is leading you to your ultimate transformation, which that leads me to another conversation, because you awaken, and are you really transforming, or are you just simply embodying a version of you that was already there waiting to come out? And I feel like that's something that is not often talked about enough. And with that, I want to say that you too are unlocking certain codes within you. There are certain things that are waking up that were asleep, and you are unlocking the code. Every single time something comes up, you are being handed a key. You are being given a code, and you can unlock the code by choosing differently. And that also is what the Saiyonan Path is all about. It's about you walking the path of remembrance by unlocking certain codes that are within you, by returning to yourself, by returning to the source of wisdom within you. No matter if you're male, you're female, or whatever your gender is, it doesn't matter what your gender is. It's about you diving into that divine feminine energy, that divine feminine wisdom to help you align your life with your highest and your greatest version. And that is my time. I want to invite you to also watch the video that's coming up next, because we are actually going to be talking about the divine feminine, and that's all I'm going to say. If y'all need anything from me, please feel free to visit me online over at the SaiyonanPath.org. And if you guys want to, you guys can follow along with me on Instagram over at Magic of Eden. I am always honored to be in your presence. Please make sure that you do subscribe down below, because I do want to grow our YouTube channel, but really what I want to do is expand and grow and evolve with you, and also reach more of our Soul Tribe members, because that's what it's about to me. Okay. And yes, there's nothing else. So I guess I'll catch you guys in my next video.